Hello, the internet, and welcome back to the live stream. It is Saturday, the 29th of February 2020, and today I will be live for 92 minutes. Got a slight throat issue there, a little bit of morning issues going on there. Feeling a little ill, actually, to be completely honest. I will talk about that momentarily, but feeling a little ill just because of this. If you want a quick update before we move on, this is my skin cancer I'm treating, basal cell skin cancer. Now, why does that make me feel ill? Well, the treatment for this is a cream called Aldara, and what Aldara does is it takes your immune system from anywhere else in your body and pushes your immunity to here to fight these cancerous cells. And so if you are sort of on the edge of being ill, of some kind of sickness like a cold or something, typically you will hang around that sort of ill feeling for some time because your immunity's up here working hard on this. I'm three weeks into the treatment for this stuff, and right now we're at a point where I've taken a week off treating it and I've gone back to full health. And then just yesterday I began treatment again. So the first 2 weeks was full on treatment, just every single day. Third week is going to be every second day, on off after a week off, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm just feeling a little shaky. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe that could be the nerves here on the YouTube stream happening again. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not feeling great. I'm gonna be honest. But this is an important stream today. Now, why is this an important stream? Well, it was the 27th of February, so a few days earlier this week, that CreatorCast did. Well, we ran our infamous final stream, if you like. Now, there were streams after this stream, but this was the one that kind of ruined everything, right? So it's been a year since then, and I want to have a look back on that with kind of a clean slate, if you like, clean eyes. We want to watch back that stream. We want to work out whether...
Steak?
Money's too tight for steak.
Oh, no.
Steak.
Angus Ferguson, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I saw the... You know what? I haven't got notifications turned on this. Oh, yes, I did. That's my bad, dude. I'd turn the notifications off on this screen. Angus, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Cheers, my friend. We could hear the super chat, we just couldn't see it, right? So we heard it, but I looked down and my Streamlabs alerts were switched off. I didn't intend that. My bad. Sorry, Angus. Thank you for donating. So the idea with this stream is to watch some of that content back. Now, that live stream went for over 2.5 hours. Now, we're not going to... 2 hours 20. We're not going to watch it all. We did that on the D Live. I definitely watched all of it on the D Live with the fresh eyes 11 months in, and there's no point doing that again now here on the YouTube. So we're going to skip through bits of it. I've made some some dot points about critical parts to the stream that we'll jump forward and back to in time. But critically, the stream's in 3 parts in my mind. The first part is just me and Scotty Muir having a chit chat, kind of a bit of nothing here nor there. But then when Creaky joins us, that's kind of when the thing kicks off in the first part, and that's because Jay jumps on and Jay answers some questions that I had to him. That we're gonna kind of watch it in 2 parts. We're gonna watch that section, then we'll take a break. We'll probably watch some surfing, catch up with what I've been doing out there in the ocean. Then we'll come back because the stream did take a very interesting twist when Jay left and then Scotty left, and then it was just Creaky and I chatting, and there was some very, very, very confusing angles, let's just say, from Creaky. I found out a lot about Jonathan Creek in this stream, and I want to ask you guys about that. I want to see if we're all fresh after this for, say, almost a year now, do I have the right summary of this? Do I have the right sort of takeaway from that? Because that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to assess whether after that shit went down, are we far enough into swear on YouTube? What have we got to be? At least a third. No, I've already blown it. This thing's been demonetized. I feel like we're far enough away from it to sort of sit back and go, well, those people were pretty silly. And did they mean what they was like? Did Creaky mean what he was saying? If he did, how come he's no longer a friend of yours? This and that. So it's kind of what we want to do here. Of course, it's going to be a conversation with you, the chit chat. So let's go across and have a look at the chit chat, because the live stream is the time of the week when we can converse. So in today's chat, Tim jumped in there first. He said, I reckon the Creator Cast streams were generally really good, and I enjoyed watching them. The 12-hour live stream from CreatorCon, what we named CreatorCon, was a real hoot, not only to watch, but also have taken part in. Yeah, he was. So Tim was down there with us on that stream doing a sit-down interview, which was pretty interesting. I enjoyed that. DLE Crystal, hi, good morning, Gives. G'day, DLE. And I'm chatting there to Tim and DLE. Good to see you both up there in the chit-chat. Mindy's up there. Hi, everyone. Good morning, Ben, on DLE and Mindy. Mindy says, I'll be listening to the stream, but may not be in the chat because of driving. She's leaving for St. Louis after work. That's fine, Mindy. I appreciate having you here for whatever time you can. And even if you're just listening, hello, Mindy. Don't look at the screen. I'm just saying, hello, Mindy, not waving at you. Tim said, maybe, Mindy, you'll have to learn to steer your vehicle with your knees so you can still text. I don't want to push any illegal driving activities, but I did ask. That must be illegal these days, because my friends used to do that all the time while driving to a skate park because they were doing something else with their hands, right? And the knees were steering the vehicle because their hands were busy. It's got to be illegal these days, surely. I hope we can entertain you along the way. I said, Tim, Mindy, you will have to learn to steer. Yeah, there you go. Surely, yeah, okay. So going further down the chit chat, we talked a little bit about what is illegal and what's not illegal in a vehicle, and we talked about basically the idea that in Australia, anything you do that takes your hands off the wheel is illegal. However, you're legally allowed to change the dial on your radio. And I was saying, well, how long is that going to last, right? How long until they say no? If your hands aren't on the wheel, you're liable for a fine. I reckon that's not far off. I've got to be honest. I reckon that's not far off. Then I had the 10-minute warning. Tim said, okay, it's so comfortable in bed here, all nice and warm. Window open with a gentle, cool breeze coming in, and the doves, coo, 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 coo. Outside, I could snooze like this for ages. Paula's in the chit-chat. G'day, Paula. Sup, kids? How you going, Paula? Welcome to the stream. Tim and Paula chit-chatting. Tim live in between mild bouts of the coronavirus. Paula, confirmed. Benon has corona. Pass this information on to every member of the community. Well, I guess you're safe watching the stream from behind closed internet. By the way, folks, the 28th of February, yesterday, that's the day that the NBN is switched on here in Culburra Beach. And I checked it last night, and it's available. You are ready to connect. So that's something interesting. It's taken a long, long time to get here. Let me tell you about it. I feel like the last CreatorCast stream was more than only 1 year ago. No, it was the 27th of February. Streamed live on the 27th of February, 2019. We'll see that momentarily when we jump over there. Deo Benon, g'day Chris, cheers. Paula says, by the way, the audio is a little low. The audio's a little low? No change to audio here at my end, dude. That's got to be at your end. That's got to be your end, dude. Anybody else experiencing low audio, or is it just Paula? Michael, I missed out on all the CreatorCast stuff. Well, you might have missed some cool stuff, but it's okay. We can definitely go through that today and talk about it. Ultimately, where this concludes is that I lost about 6 friends out of this, right? So this is the negative thing here. What Jay did after this stream, what Jay Boston did was dust his hands and walk away from CreatorCast. He said, I don't want to be involved in it anymore. Now, I still don't really know why he did that. There has been some conversation between Jay and I, which I will read to you after we've seen what goes down. And by the way, folks, there is a daily vlog coming up on this live stream too at the alarm set for 12 past 10, my daily vlog alarm. So that means the daily vlog is 12, 13, 14. It's 16 past 10 today. We'll be doing the daily vlog here. So that's going to come off as a reminder as well. Morning, Aero Gamer up in the chit chat. G'day, Aero Gamer. YouTube, what's up with the YouTube stream? There you go, Happy Canadian. Thank you, Happy Canadian. Good to see you. Good to see Aero and Happy Canadian. Michael says, it's hard luck for you as you seem to be at the back of the queue for the NBN. Yeah. I mean, I've given up on it, to be honest. I'm not ever going to use it. I'm going to use my 4G with a secondary 4G because that's mobile. The NBN's fixed to here, and I'm not going to be here all the time, so. You're good here in the US, New England, East Coast, Chris. So the phone, the audio issue is just at Paula's end. Paula, I haven't changed anything here, so it's got to be at your end, dude. It's the same as last week. And I'm looking at the levels. The levels are perfect. I can bring the microphone slightly closer to me, but I don't want to peek it out. But there you go. So yeah, what we're gonna watch this first part of the stream with Creaky, and then Jay jumps on. And at any point, feel free to jump in the chit chat and say something, and I'll pause the video and we'll have a conversation about it, because I want this to be all of us kind of coming to the same kind of conclusion. I already have my conclusion in mind, and bear in mind, we also did this on the D Live stream on the 27th. So 3 days ago, we actually did this, and everybody in the chat was like, wow, man, those people, all of those people are not your friend. They never were. They're jealous of you, and they got issues. In fact, it became clear that Creaky's a bit of a sociopath. And I mean, I probably shouldn't have said that, right? I probably should let you conclude your own conclusions, but that's what the conclusion was on D Live, just from watching this stuff back. So I guess, without any further ado, let's just jump on in. Priam Writer. G'day, Priam Writer. Hi, how you do? I miss the good old Creator Cast group. Yeah, man. And let me also be clear, before we play this, after this stream, I was like, wow, that was a very interesting stream. Cool stuff. Great. Look forward to next week. I had no idea that this would be the end. There is no reason for this to have ended things. And you will hear Creaky say the same thing. And people like Gina Walters and Mark Ensby say the same thing. But I lost Jay Boston as a friend. When he left, he took Danny Black, eventually. He took Creaky immediately. He took Mark Ensby. Now, arguably, you could say, well, they weren't really big friends of yours, but they were community friends, right? They were all, Mark Ensby would be, g'day, legend, pumping me up and always promoting me and always giving me the great tips and the great vibes. And I inspired him to do 20 in 20 or 7 in 10 or whatever it was called. But all of a sudden, after this stream, when Jay said, I'm leaving, everybody else turned on me, completely flipped it on me and went, no, you're a dickhead. So I lost Danny Black, Mark Ensby, Creaky, Gina Walters through association, Scotty Donnelly through association. None of these people are friends of mine anymore, all because of what we're about to see. And I want to work out, was I really that bad? Was my questions too hard to Jay? I don't think so. He answers very, very eloquently. His answers are bullshit, but he answers with enough conviction of his belief, which is what's important. You've got to believe in what you believe in and let others believe in what they believe in. That's the core crux of this situation. I didn't agree with what something Jay did. Why can't I have that opinion and that belief and that not end a friendship? Well, that's the question to Jay, which he never really answered. Tim, did you get my message regarding Telstra and the NBN? I did see news this week that Telstra have stopped the top tier NBN plan, the 100 down and 40 up plan. And the reason that they've stopped this is all over the Whirlpool forums, is because not enough people that were buying that plan could access that plan because of the majority of people in this country, me being, well, very soon to be one of them, on a fiber to the node connection, which just can't sustain those speeds. So they've said, well, we're not going to even offer, that's not going to be the top speed anymore. The one that's half that, 50 down and 20 up, no, 50 down and 10, yeah, it was 140, 50 and 20, that's going to be the top plan, because if you have a fiber to the node connection, theoretically you can reach somewhat close to that, but you're never going to reach 100. So they just decided to end it. Very, very dubious, but that's what you get when you use technology from the 30s. Folks, let's jump across to this video here. Oh, sorry, Brent's in the chit chat. G'day, Brent. Good to see you, my friend. When are you doing more snorkels? Premium. We will be doing some snorkel... actually, stay tuned. Stay tuned, dude. Stay tuned. Here we go, folks. This is the video here in question. Now, this is just proof from... Tim said he didn't believe it was a year ago. There it is. Streamed live on the February 27th, 2019. So this is when Creaky's joined. Let's make this sucker full screen and let's go ahead and watch this. And again, if you've got comments, I'm going to be reading the chit chat as we go along. I'm going to pause it from time to time, but if you've got anything you want to add, be my guest and add it in the chit chat. Yeah. Very nice. Hey, Creaky, you left a comment at the very end of my live stream on Saturday saying, and I think I just said something to the effect of, everybody that pumped out a Rosie video straight after Luke's went viral, something along the lines of there has to be some responsibility. What was the words? So what I'm fumbling to say there is that at the crux of this matter is that we decided, and Creaky kind of put this forward. He said the real discussion point here is not that Jay put out at that point 4 or 5 videos on a topic that wasn't his to begin with, but he grabbed it and he made 4 or 5 videos to continue sucking the teat of that shark until it was dry. That's not really the core reason of discussion here. The core reason is, what was his motivation to do that? Now, I stipulated that his motivation was purely views, subscribers, and money. That's what I put out there. You'll hear Jay contradict himself pretty hardcore when this question comes up. He answers 2 different ways. But that's what I'm trying to get to here. And Creaky brought this up first, so I was just kind of like saying, "Oh, I think you're right there, man. That's probably a pretty good point." There has to be some duty of care from those creators, and then you said, and unfortunately it was after time, but you did say we have to look at the intent of those people, and that ties into your TEDx talk, because one of the key messages I got from watching that back was that you said,
"Oh yes, you're one of the secret watchers, aren't you?" There's only a handful of people who've seen that bootleg copy. We can't say where it's come from.
Yeah, fair enough. We were lucky enough to have a look at it. But he's just referring to the fact that video wasn't public yet, but he'd given us all links to check it out. I think Jay shot the whole thing on his phone, and Creaky said, "Yeah, you can go and watch it." So we watched it. One of the points you made there was you didn't say the word strike while the iron's hot, but you said the time of most relevance. Yeah. Creaky. I don't know what Creaky's
there. Oh, look out.
Boom.
It's Australian Casey Neistat. He's here.
Australia's Casey Neistat.
That's a reference to Jay referring to himself that way. He actually referred to himself a bunch of times as the Australian Casey Neistat. Okay, we're getting a double up somewhere there. Who's got the double up?
Yeah, Creaky, you might have the sound on if you've opened up the chat.
G'day, Jay.
I'm all good.
Weird. Okay.
You're really low in volume too, Jay. Have you got any way to turn that up?
Is that better?
And here's the thing with Jay coming on like this. We had a discussion before this stream that Jay probably wouldn't be there because he had an electric skateboard ride to attend, and so when he just pops in like this, it's kind of annoying because he wasn't going to be there. We don't really have the bandwidth to bring everybody in, although Google Hangouts is usually almost pretty seamless even on a sketchy connection. But the trouble with him is that he just lacks professionalism when he comes in like that. He's got no microphone, no headphone, no ears, no cans on, no light, nothing. It just showcases Jay in its entirety. He doesn't give a shit about quality. He just wants to get himself out there. He wants to be there and he wants to be involved in something no matter what the cost. And I've always said quality is important. So that's one thing on CreatorCast that it didn't just used to kill me, it used to kill Danny as well. But of course, Danny won't say that these days. Danny will smoke Jay, whatever Jay does. But I got multiple conversations with Danny where he was saying the exact same thing, and how he was saying we should bump Jay out of the whole thing, bump him out entirely, just start doing more things when he's not available and slowly phase him out. But that never gets brought up anymore, does it? Because they're like this and I'm like that because of this stream. Get your hand off it. Okay, so it's just that. Okay.
It's all good. How's everyone going?
Good.
Good.
Just the usual tech issues, Jay.
Freaky has the world on his shoulders. Look at it.
Yeah. Do you like the new set that I haven't used yet?
I do
Looks
like
good.
that. Looks amazing.
Yeah.
Jay, why are you holding the camera like an old man?
Because the microphone's down here, and I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I could hold it out here, I guess. Is that better?
That works.
Is that better?
That's better. That's way better.
Okay, and I'll hold it like that. There we go.
John Nee says these Aussies think they are in the lucky country. We don't think that. We know that. Jay, you at a barbecue, man? What's going on there?
No, you can probably see the Balti Bridge behind us. There's some boys riding skateboards with us.
Yeah, out on a cruise. Cool.
Yeah, we're just doing cruising. I won't stay very long because I know it's probably annoying for me being here with all the echoing and stuff?
Well, no, there's no echo now. John Nee says Australia has the highest tobacco prices in the world. Well, that's only a problem if you're a smoker, which not many of us are.
I don't think we all are.
That's because it kills you. We're doing you a favor.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, Jay, it's good that you are here because we were talking about the Rosie videos and people jumping on and rushing videos out, and we were just saying that I was just trying to clarify a point that Creaky made in my live stream, that the intent of the creator needs to be questioned, and I wanted to ask you straight up: was the intent that you had to get views and subscribers, or was your intent to save the shark, if you like? Now,
I think it was both, to be honest. I think it was not to save the shark originally because we didn't know that the Rosie needed saving.
Did you just hear what he said? He basically contradicts himself. He said, I said, what was your motivation, your intent? Was it to save the shark or was it to get views? And he said both. And then the next thing he says was, actually, we didn't know about saving the shark at first. So the first motivation for him was not both, was only one of those things, the one that he already knew about, the views. And he knew about the views because at that point, Lukey had already gone viral to the tune of 8 million views on his video. So Jay just contradicted himself straight off the bat. Or was your intent to save the shark, if you like?
I think it was both, to be honest. I think it was not to save the shark originally because we didn't know that the Rosie needed saving. But for me, it was, just listening to the comments.
So what was it, Jay? It was either both or it wasn't. You just said, oh, it was both. Or actually, we didn't know about saving the shark originally. So there's proof right there. His motivation was views, monetary gain, and the social clout. Completely. And I mean, you could say, well, there's nothing really wrong with that. But then my further questioning was, well, if you've done that then, and then you've gone ahead and made 6 other videos, how far will you go to make this yours? How much further will you take it? And we know the answer. It's 2020. It's been 12 months, and he just put out another video on the same topic when there is no new news. Nothing new on Rosie, yet here's another Jay video on the subject. So there's the answer to my question 12 months ago. How far will you go? He'll continue to go as far as he damn well pleases, and he'll say, "Well, I'm answering comments that people are putting in the comments field of my videos," and I'm like, "Well, you could answer that with a community post. If there's no news, you could say, hey, I appreciate you guys being interested in this story, but there's actually no further updates, and there hasn't been for 12 months. So if something happens, I'll let you know." Instead, he makes a 12-minute video, monetizes it, puts it out there, uses the same title, "Abandoned Shark Left to Rot," so he can get that pop from the first video, does all the right things to get the constant motivation, constant algorithm working. That's how far this man will go. He won't stop. He will do whatever he damn well pleases, and that's because Jay will be Jay. Adrian Banks in the chit chat. Hey man, how you going, Adrian? Good to see you, dude. How do you do, man? Good to have you. You're on a ship right now.
Guess those creators, we have to listen to what our viewers want. Like you said before, Benin, you do one for you do one for your audience, and I kind of followed that principle.
You did 8 for your audience.
Oh well, it's winning, isn't it?
There you go. So I'm going to pull this apart as we go, because what Jay just did then, he tried to return fire on me, saying, well, Benon, we were talking about this on a previous creator cast. There's a female creator who was sort of putting the idea forward that you should make one video for you and then one video for the algorithm. So whatever's trending, you should follow that trend to bring in a new set of eyes to your channel and then make a video that you want to make. I think at the time fidget spinners were kicking off. So you should make a fidget spinner video, then you should go back to your core message or your core content, and then the next video should be a fidget spinner. And Jay tried to turn that around on me and say, well, you do that with your snorkel masks. And I was like, Jay, you made, at that point, I think it was 6 videos on Rosie. So you didn't go 1 and 1. You went none and 6 trending videos to get that trend going, right? This is all the nature of YouTube. Yeah, it is, totally. And that's the thing. He's just playing the game, Paula. He's playing, and that's the thing. Why can't I disagree with that? That's you've just nailed it, man. He is just playing his game of YouTube. Why can't I disagree with that? Why can't I ask him these questions? Why can't I be that person that says, hey man, I don't agree with what you're doing. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right for your friendship with the guy you stole the video off initially. I don't think it's right for the next, it totals 10 now. I don't think it's right for the next 9 videos you made on that subject matter just to get the money. I don't think that's cool. I think that shows no integrity, shows no backbone, shows no creativity, shows no ingenuity, shows no no tact, basically. Why can't I have that opinion and maintain a friendship with the guy? Why does that have to end the friendship? Why does it have to end CreatorCast? Why does it have to end all the friendships around CreatorCast? Do you know why? It's because Jay sits on a mountain of ego. And if you critique Jay, he will shut you down and walk away from you because he can't handle the criticism. No matter whether he believes it, no matter whether the criticism's founded, no matter whether the criticism's right, wrong, in between, doesn't matter. Jay can't handle when you critique him because he's an egomaniac. He thinks he's someone that he's not. The Australian Casey Neistat, self-made handle from himself.
Yeah. So, but
So far.
would you say the overriding thing for you was to get the, because you did rush those videos out? Would you say that the overriding thing was to get the views, or would you say the
No.
overriding thing was to follow the story?
I didn't rush. I didn't rush. I rushed. I wouldn't say rush, but I rushed one of them because, you know, sometimes when you're out on the surf like you, Benin, you need to quickly get on that wave, and I did that first, and then I realised that the comments, I was reading all the comments from those people that were watching, and they wanted to know more. So, you know, I provided more, and I think that's what you do as a content creator. You create what you want for you and what you want for your audience. Don't see any harm in it.
No, there's no harm in it. We're just trying to work out the motive and the intent, because that's going to tie into.
But do you have to? Is there like, there's obviously intent when you make a series of snorkel videos, or you make for Creaky, you like make it to TED Talks, and he's going to be promoting that however much he can. I think that's fine. You know,
Yeah,
you
but
promote what you're good at.
But your Rosie videos were pretty off brand for you. That was more like investigative reporting, really, and you don't really seem to do that aside from this one time.
Can I step in?
Sure.
Let me just pause Creaky before he gets going there. Tim says Jay was in a sense just rehashing an old story like news media in Australia does, trying to get views. I'd agree with that, and in a sense that's nothing all that bad. Me personally, I'd turn that shit off television. I would not watch Today Tonight, A Current Affair, crap like that. But when you've got someone such as Jonathan Creek, who actually made his living as an investigative journalist, of course he's going to side with Jay like that on this issue, because that's how he made his life. He Jonathan Creek. If you don't know the man, go and Google search Jonathan Creek Today Tonight. Yeah, search those 4 words, Jonathan Creek Today Tonight. Look at the first story that comes up. That's this man. He made his decisions, he made his life based on what Jay did on this YouTube video. So of course they're going to side together. Adrian Banks, narcissistic people are very me-orientated and are never wrong because they can't take criticism or indeed responsibility. You know what? Jay does sound narcissistic. Yeah, there's certainly elements of narcissism in Jay. I didn't spot that initially, but for sure it's there. Brent, I mean, he's got to milk that YouTube cash cow. And at what cost? At the cost of your friendships? At the cost of your mates? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have a level, right? We have a playing field. We have a friendships. How far will Jay go down this route? We've already seen him do it with don't stalk Casey Neistat, but it's okay for him to stalk Casey Neistat. So you can make a completely contradictory video. You can say, let Casey be Casey, but I'm okay to stalk him. I can sit out the front of his office and shoot a time lapse, but you're not allowed to. And he'd make 2 videos on that subject and put forward this idea that he's better than you. Again, narcissism.
I actually don't think I actually look at what Jay did with Rosie and sort of saw it as a kick in the pants for myself. Look, I can understand if there's other people who did the video first and then, you know, Jay comes in and does his own and then does his own and then does his own and sort of takes over the issue. But I mean, this has been going on since the day that there was ever media or reporters that people fight over stories. There's been plenty of stories where reporters have broken the story, and then it's the one who's followed up that has gone on to win the Walkley. And I think, I don't think it was out of Jay's wheelhouse to do those Rosie stories, because it all comes back to Urbex, and it's not the very first Urbex video I'd ever did. Now, I think if I went out there and did the Rosie story and then went and did 100 Rosie stories, I think you'd call me out and say, I think it's out of your wheelhouse. What are you doing? You just, you're leeching off other people's success. Where, I think for Jay, he just went after it, and I think that's sort of what you need to do on YouTube if you want to grow. I think looking at his numbers, I'd like them.
And I want to hit that point here right now. At that point, what was the last thing Creaky said? He said, and I think Jay just went after it, and looking at his numbers, well, it's working. I'd want those numbers. So all of a sudden, the number is relevant. We never hear anybody say anything about the number when the number is small. In fact, you've got people like Cody Warner, who made an entire movement based around the concept of no small creator. So forget the numbers. The numbers mean nothing. Just because you've got 120 subs and 400 channel views doesn't mean anything. The number is irrelevant. It's no small creator. You can create content. Doesn't matter the numbers. But then when the number is different, i.e. bigger, not smaller, when the number's bigger, suddenly the number's important. You hear the mindset of this man here, Creaky? Well, I think Jay just went for it. He'd put all sides across and went, I'm going for it. And I'm going to take that story and make 6 videos. And well, it's working for him. I'd want those numbers. So suddenly that number means something. That's what I don't like about this man. He swaps his idea out. He swaps his concept when it suits him. We've never heard anyone say the number is... We've only ever heard people say the numbers are relevant, but then when the number's good, the number, look at the number, look at the stats, look at his subscriber count, look at the views, he's got 12 million views. The number's relevant now? It wasn't relevant before, now it is. Get your hand off it, Creaky.
That pretty much speaks for you, Jay?
Yeah, I think Creaky's right on it. I think...
And there you go. That's Jay in a nutshell. I think Creaky's right on it. So that's exactly my point here. And I can't believe that this conversation ended friendships, because we're talking about integrity. We're talking about intent. We're talking about a creator who just wants to chase the clout. That's it. He's a clout chaser. Self-admitted right there.
If you find, for instance, like, I've done 150 skateboard videos, and no one's ever called me out for being milking skateboards. You know what I mean? Just because the subject's come along and it's quite popular at the moment, yeah, I'm going to continue giving people what they like. And so long as I've got information and content that I think is worthy, that's new and different and relevant, then...
As long as I've got content that's information that's worthy, new and relevant, none of that stuff is. He's made so many videos where he's repeated himself ad nauseum with no new information. Like everyone's channels, there are viewers who only watch one channel so they get relevant info from creators. So I can see why he's answering his views questions about Rosie. For him, it's money over quality and friends. Exactly, Brent. He could have referred to viewers to other relevant channels, but didn't. But very few creators do, unless it's to a friend's channel. We're talking about a man, Tim. Don't forget, Jay went into a Reddit thread. The Reddit thread, which was sending Lukey's original video to an infinite amount of views. 8 million, I think it was at 11 million last I saw way back 10 months ago. Jay went onto the thread in Reddit and said, I went and filmed a video of the Shark 2 and put a link, said, here's my video. First of all, you're not allowed to self-promote in Reddit. It's frowned upon categorically. It's a complete no-no on Reddit. You don't self-promote. He went onto the popping thread for Lukey and tried to bring that audience to his video. Here's what I did. What kind of... It's like someone at a school performance. Someone else is delivering the final song for the Christmas play, and Jay just runs out with the Santa Claus mask going, I was Santa Claus, here's Santa Claus, I was the Santa Claus. Let them do their song. That's their song. They're already having it. Why can't you let them have it? Unbelievable.
Why not? Like,
Where would
It's
that end
obviously-
though? Like, would you jump on and do fidget spinner videos, for instance?
Well,
No,
it's not within.
genuine question. Genuine
Well,
question.
it's a stupid question, to be honest, because it's not within what I do. Urban exploring and Rosie being in an abandoned building, and that's relevant for me. You know what I mean?
Well, I think
That's
the
true.
point
That's true.
is, if he finds a whole big box of fidget spinners in an abandoned warehouse, he probably would do a fidget spinner video.
And how many would he
Probably-
make? 20 of them.
It wouldn't be too hard these days, would it? They're not very popular anymore.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think Scott, Scott, I'd love to hear from you on this, because I don't know the urbex culture. I don't know the people. So
This whole situation
is
could
there
have been
a
avoided
code?
had
What's
Jay
the
given
code?
the credit to the original
What's the
creator
code
and never
amongst
uploaded
the
anything else
explorers?
afterwards.
Yes. Well, the whole
that's
Rosie
really
thing-
what it's getting down to, Ben, right?
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah,
whole.
Is there a
Yeah.
code, or is it just go for it? Because I've seen a couple of times when, hey, who's this dude? You're getting stalked.
He's my boy. It's Timmy.
Hey, Jimmy. See,
You
because
just have a look.
I've seen a lot of you guys copy each other all the time, or go exploring together, and then I think I've even raised with you, Scott, previously, is what's the deal here? Who gets to go first, or is there an unspoken code of, hey, I took Jay to this building, so my video comes out first, and then his video. So like when Jay came with me to TEDx the other day, you know, I just sort of said to him, so you know, this is mine. I don't mind if you do a video on behind the scenes at TEDx.
Paula says, I don't like this kind of stuff he makes. This is Jay. To me, he's like a viral marketing sales boy, but that is a big chunk of the YouTuber world. I do think you're applying too high standards to what he is. And let me be clear, the only reason I'm applying the high standard is because we were friends. And I use those words in inverted commas because we had a friendship, right? He'd stayed at my house, I stayed at his house. We formed CreatorCast together. The idea with CreatorCast was to critique each other, to build each other's channels, to get each other bigger and better. So why can't I critique when I see something that's completely sticking out like a broken thumb? Why can't I say, hey, Jay, this is what I think? And that's what we're doing right here. And Jay left and quit Creator on the basis of this. Jay up stumps and left CreatorCast, left our friendships, taking 6 people with him. And I feel not vindicated. I feel 12 months in, if you're asking me honestly, I feel like that was a dog maneuver from Jay because of his ego. Why can't he settle down with his ego and accept that some people may not agree with him?
But you know, my video gets to go first.
Yeah, there's definitely that. I mean, there's been times where I've filmed not with Jay, but with others. Just for instance, like Lukey, we've been hanging out heaps, and like we might record something, and we go, well, you know, we can't really both bring this out. Just like you have the video, you take it. There's that sort of thing. If you know, I invited someone to a location that was going to be something that I knew was going to be completely mind-blowingly awesome, I'd probably say, let me release the video first and then go ahead. But other than that, I mean, it's a free-for-all. It's YouTube. Go do your thing.
And
It's
that's the
your
beauty
thing.
of it too, is that everybody has a different way of editing. They see different things than what you do. And like there's been explorers that Scotty's been to, and Lukey MC, he went to that abandoned mansion recently. He saw things that I didn't even see, and that's what I watch. I like to see things from a different point of view, and it's great. It's awesome
Yeah.
because Lukey or Scotty or anyone will go to the same place and have a different spin on it. So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with this Rosie stuff too. I'm sure everyone's sick of it
Yeah.
now, but it's to a point where Lukey had his perspective. He did the crane stuff. I did different things, whatever. So
He can't even list what he did differently. You hear that? Lukey did his, I did mine, I did whatever. He can't even remember what he did because he didn't do anything new.
Lukey had his perspective. He did the crane stuff. I did different things, whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The only thing, yeah, I mean, like I just saw it as Lukey's video. That was the thing, you know. It was Lukey's. You know, his 10 million views. That's your thing.
Exactly.
Go out and do it. It's yours.
Yeah,
That's why.
and he did it very well.
That's why I made my one video. It was released, and then I'm done. I really don't like. I'm gonna Jay. I haven't watched any of your repeat videos of the shark, just because I was completely over it by the first video that came out. It just got flogged, and it was a big part of what I do in my world. So you know, I was seeing it everywhere. I couldn't go on Facebook without being tagged in a Rosie video or a Rosie photo. It's like, yeah, I saw it. I know, like it's there. I would have just left it for Lukey. It's, you know, obviously it was a big thing, but I don't know. It's worked for you, Jay. So well done.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got an opinion, and yeah, that's absolutely fine.
If that's absolutely fine and everyone's got an opinion, why walk away from CreatorCast, right? If that's the thing that Jay's leaving us with, as everyone's got an opinion and that's fine. Why would you walk away from CreatorCast? Because you're sitting on a mound of ego too big for yourself, Jay. Scotty looks uncomfortable in this live stream. Yeah, I'd say he was pretty uncomfortable because he didn't want to say too much because people are scared of Jay. That's the thing. People are frightened of Jay.
It has raised
hold
a
on a
pretty
minute.
it's raised a pretty
nailed it.
interesting
He
topic
did.
for you now, Jay, that because you've got this, like we were saying before, your audience now is over half of your subscriber base is there from Rosie. So how are you going to engage that crew? It's kind of like my snorkel mask thing, like where I've got this massive core audience that came from one video and I don't see them on other videos. How are you going to try to entice them to come and be there for the long run, if you like?
Yeah, well, I've already started doing that. I did a skateboard video that went live this morning. Talked about Rosie saying, thanks everybody for coming onto the channel. You may be interested in the skateboarding stuff. If not, hang around. There's a lot more abandoned building exploration to do. If that's not what you want, you can definitely unsubscribe. It's that easy. I mean, I'm here to do what I want to do and put out what I want to put out. And if people want to watch, fine.
Complete contradiction again from Jay. He just said, I'm here to put out what I want to put out, what I want to do. And if people want to watch, then fine. Go back about 15 minutes earlier where he said you've got to do what your audience wants to do. He completely contradicted himself right there. What have I got to say? Like, I mean, it's right here, right? It's right here on the stream. He's saying one thing and saying another thing straight away.
But that's as simple as it gets for me.
Cool.
And I think what's important with
I'm
this
dumbfounded
too
when I
is,
hear that. Completely dumbfounded.
I think everybody who made Rosie videos after Lukey actually mentioned Luke in their videos.
Yeah, there's a bit of respect going on there.
A bit.
So it's not like they've cut him out and ignored him. I think probably some of Lukey's growth has been from
I don't have any context about
being
CreatorCast. I
exposed
never
to other
saw it, but
people's
you can see
channels
that
who
he
have
feels
mentioned him
ambushed
and
here.
said, hey, here's this
Yeah,
video that he did.
He feels ambushed
And,
because
yeah,
he's
I think
the one
that's
that did
part
it.
of the mystery of Rosie is that, let's be honest, Lukey's video wasn't, it was just a walkthrough.
Scotty
Yeah,
made
it
a good
wasn't
point
the
about
best
Rosie's
Rosie
story being
video. I wouldn't have
flogged.
thought, but
Yeah,
he got the
totally.
thumbnail right and he gets the chocolates. So good luck to him.
The chocolate. No, there's no ill feelings down there in the Urbex community amongst the shark hunters.
No, everyone's just over it, mate. No one cares about it.
Yeah.
You hear that, Scotty? Everyone's just over it, mate. That was 12 months ago. Everyone was over it. And Jay went on to make another 4 videos and then one just last week. Jay just has no integrity. None whatsoever. And look, this is the community he's talking about, the Urbex community. And Scotty's up there with the top of them. He's saying, we're all over this, man. And that was 12 months ago.
The proper Urbex people don't give a shit about it, mate. It's done. Move on.
I love it. I am all over Rosie.
Yeah,
Because
you can
you're an
have it. It's all
investigative
yours.
journalist, Creaky.
Yeah,
Of course
I
you
could
are.
see you doing a video, man. Go down to Crystal World with your camera. You're a reporter.
Yeah, no, Crystal World doesn't excite me. But,
Well,
but
that's
Rosie
where-
in the shed does.
That's where the shark is.
Jay
now.
wants to get
I
out of
know,
here.
I
You can
know,
tell.
I know.
Look.
In that regard, I feel like it was good that Jay you did jump on because we were talking about this, but I was trying to tie it into the TEDx talk because I think Creaky, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of your core messages was to hit while peak relevance, and Jay
Moment of
certainly
peak
did
relevance.
that, right? He did that.
Yeah.
To make a video go viral, you said you have to be peak relevance.
The
So
moment
can
of
you-
big relevance. Yeah.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that and maybe talk about how Jay did that with his series of Rosie videos?
Well, the
'Cause
way that the
ties it
algorithms
all together.
work is that everyone's linked to everybody, right? So they link everyone, anyone that's ever interacted with each other, even been to similar locations, the algorithm knows. And so they know what's trending in terms of topics and discussions.
Okay, Jay wants to leave here.
Jay?
I think what we'll do.
Do you want me just
they-
to, I'll just lock it on you for a
They
second.
know what's trending and going on in discussions. So
Jay wants to bump out
you
at that
know,
point,
Luke
so we
is
maybe
probably
we'll just bump
linked
out
to
here as
Scott,
well.
and Scott's linked to Jay, and that's how it works. So it becomes a moment of peak relevance because the time now when we can just post a video and expect views, it's over. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It has to be more emotional than that and more emotive to get people.
Look at
to
Jay putting the
actually
camera on everybody
take
else.
action. I mean,
He wants
you
to
look
leave.
at the Facebook
Wait
algorithm,
until today tonight,
and
boys
that's
finds
moved
out Rosie is
past
also
pure
receiving
viewing,
fraudulent
getting you
Centrelink
a
payments,
positive
and he's a
response
motor
anymore.
mechanic doing
You
shoddy
actually
motor,
have to
motor
have an
mechanic repairs.
interaction. There has to be an action from people to get that positive response.
I think
So,
we'll bump out because
to get that, you have to.
Jay wants to leave right there. Let's bump out of there because this stream does go on. Once Jay's left, we come back on and it becomes just Creaky and I want to get to that, but I want to take pause. Like I said, we'll do this in 2 parts. We'll take pause now. We'll go and catch up with my surfing, my super quick wave a day edits. Hopefully there's no Rosie story in there. Although if there was, I'd milk it for as much as I could because that's all we have here. No integrity. Welcome back to the super quick wave a day edits. Well, today the waves were not so good. I'm kneeling down just for added effect. It's not because I'm tired. It's just that there was no real good waves today. And so to make this super quick wave a day edits more exciting, I'm getting closer to the sand. I don't know why. Look, I definitely had fun out there, but the waves, well, not so good. But I guess you know me by now, right? I don't want to be the judge of that. How about, I don't know. You decide.
Eye for an eye, and we'll all go blind. A man once said this, and he would rise, and he would rise.
Well, good morning, Friday! I took this GoPro out, cleaned it, washed it, hair dried it. There's no water in this super suit. There's no water on the GoPro. We should have no fogging issues. We will test, we will see. We should also have no waves here. There's no swell. Oh no!
Sees the day.
See what I mean? We just need that little section to be a little larger and we're good to go. That was a warm-up, let's call that a warm-up. For me and for the ocean. Okay, now you warmed up. Come on, deliver. So there's a little left coming through as well. I guess you can really tell how little these waves are. I've had about, I guess, 3 or 4 little fun rides, and my hair hasn't even hit the water yet. I would like to be larger, obviously. The sun's just popping out, which is beautiful. Potentially that'll bring in a bigger swell. Is that how that works? No, it doesn't. I'm just hoping, right? I'm sitting here hoping.
And the mother stopped weeping, and then the phone rings, and I ain't coming.
Well, okay, now I've got my hair wet. Also, the water is nice and clear. We're getting the beach back after all those...
They'll walk around it. Let's do the right thing. Let's show the world so the world can see. Held in our hands, and the mother stopped weeping. Then the phone rings, and I ain't coming till you come running, come running, and you come running, come running.
There's been a couple of little rights come through, kind of running along the beach. I'd like it to be bigger.
was it? Was it okay? I mean, you're talking about a small swell. Wow. You're talking about conditions that are kind of difficult to work with. So anything you get is better than nothing. And I think I got something, which is anything, and that's better than nothing. So while I stand up and think about anything being better than nothing, you guys can go back to the live stream. Rosie was likely an unauthorized water mechanic. Rosie would be a fraudulent marine mechanic, not a motor mechanic. Rosie was breaking the law about pool fencing. Oh shit, we're back. I'm just reading the comments there about Rosie. They're pretty funny. Rosie was an unauthorized water migrant. Rosie would be a fraudulent marine mechanic, not a motor mechanic. Rosie was also breaking the law about pool fencing. She had none installed. These are pretty funny comments. All sharks are dole bludgers. They should be deported to New Zealand. Classic. Folks, what we're going to do, we're going to continue with the live stream. We're going to bump forward a little way into it, about an hour and 11 minutes. This is after Jay's left, but Scotty is still there. But there's a great summary that comes out of this little conversation. And then we'll jump forward to even further once Scotty's left to an hour and 23, because that's when this stream takes a very interesting turn. So let's have a look at this. This is an interesting summary of the situation, I think, in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's my training or my background or whatever. I don't usually do it on video on social media. Get me on a sports field, it's probably a little bit different.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm a little niggler out there. Don't worry about that. I'm a pest.
I've got Tourette's when it comes to sports.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't say I've got beef with what Jay did. I just feel like maybe that it opens up a question, and the question I don't think it's wrong for me to ask that question. I think we're entitled to ask the questions I've asked tonight and to find out a little more about motive.
I think it comes down to intent.
Exactly.
And then everyone's got the right to have their own response to it.
Yes. Bingo.
You can accept
that's
these.
how we open this conversation.
Yeah. And sorry, I missed that. But yeah, so you can sit there and go, you know, in my set of values, that doesn't sit well. Other people might go, oh, well, you know, won't be the first time, wasn't the first time, won't be the last.
And so if that's the case, Creaky, if that's your stance, so this is what confuses the hell out of me, right? That's his stance. Everyone's entitled to have the opinion they have, aka me having my opinion. I can put forward that opinion to Jay, and Jay can retort with whatever he does, and that's fine. I said, that's exactly what I believe. So then why? Because what you don't know about this is that this stream went live to air on the 27th of February, 2019. On the 28th of February, Jay up and left CreatorCast on not even a message to me, right? A Facebook post on the CreatorCast Facebook group saying, well, looks like I'm done with CreatorCast. It's been fun. I'll leave you all to it. See you later. Basically walked away. And then, so he dusted his hands from that. Wouldn't talk to me about it at all. We had a group conversation. I wasn't involved in his decision making. Obviously, he was talking about it with the other guys, but not me. And then when Creaky heard about it, he demanded I remove this video from the internet. He said, "Can you do the mate thing and remove this live stream from the archive? Get rid of it." I was like, "What? Why? Why would I do that?" And he said, "Well, I don't like it, and can you do what a mate would do and get rid of it?" And I was like, Wait. Last night, and what you're seeing here on this stream, last night you were totally fine with it. In fact, you backed me up right here. You validated what I said. And now, because Jay's pulled the pin and walked away, you want me to delete it? That makes no sense, Jonathan Creek. That makes no sense at all. And so I declined. I said, well, thanks, man, but I'm going to leave that up there because that's the last live stream that we're going to have with Jay, basically. So that's staying. And he's like, oh, some kind of mate you turned out to be. I'm like, what? Where did you change your opinion? Why did you change your opinion? Is it because the ego changed his opinion and then you had to fall suit? You wanted to fall behind Jay? Yes, sir, Jay. No, sir, Jay. I'll do whatever you think, Jay. You left CreatorCast because the back of that interview. Well, then I'll pull the pin from it and get him to remove it. And I declined. And what happened in between all this, or around that same time, was that because Jay dusted his hands from CreatorCast was a 4-channel. All 4 of us had access to it, all equal rights. So those 4 creators, when Jay left and we decided we're not going to go along with it, it can't be. It's either 4 of us or none. Everybody said, "Well, I don't want it," and I said, "Well, I'll take the channel if you guys want to sign it over to me. I'll take ownership of CreatorCast." In my mind, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I thought hopefully that once this shit settles and Jay pulls his fucking head back in, we can come back and continue with CreatorCast. That's what I thought. So I wanted to keep it sort of boiling in the background, right? So Danny Black, Jay Boston, and Scotty Muir gave me their login rights, and I took ownership of the channel. And when Creaky demanded I remove this and I said no, I had Mark Ensby offer to buy the channel off me. He wanted to buy CreatorCast off me to remove this stream. So what the hell's going on here? Why, when someone makes this statement that he's just made, why would he then, after Jay says no, I want out and remove, and I don't want to be involved, why would Creaky then want this removed?
That's how we opened this conversation.
Yeah. And sorry, I missed that. But yeah, so you can sit there and go, you know, in my set of values, that doesn't sit well. Other people might go, oh, well, you know, won't be the first time, wasn't the first time, won't be the last. And that's YouTube. I mean, I think, Scotty, you even said, you know, it's sort of, that's YouTube, really. It's, you know, it becomes a free-for-all.
That's it.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Like, yeah.
That's
and
exactly it.
I'm never going to be one that doesn't speak up or that doesn't voice that opinion. And
Was Jay pissed when he left the stream? Nah, and I guess we should have watched that, but it just dragged on a little bit there with Creaky talking about whatever, but Jay just said, "Oh, look, I'm going to get back to this group ride now. Nice to talk with you boys. Catch you later. All good." And he left. There was no indication that. And I gotta say, and I said it 100 times, I thought Jay did well on this stream. I thought he answered. He defended his dubious actions in a dubious manner, which a dubious person would do. There was nothing new from Jay with his responses to my questions. I thought he handled it exactly like I'd assume he would, because Jay does Jay. There was no reason for this to go the way it did after the fact. Adrian Banks, had JD and Ginger last night. I agree with your review. The JD is very mild in it. Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it, that JD Ginger? A typical reply from Narcissist is, well, that's your opinion. I feel dirty saying this, but I agree with Today Tonight Boy. And Paula, I agree with him as well. That's the thing. I agree with what Creaky said. Everybody is entitled to have their opinion. Everybody can come out and say, well, I don't think you did the right thing. And then the person who didn't do the right thing in your mind can say, well, in my mind, this is the right thing. I'm not denying that. I'm saying that's right. What I'm saying is, why does that have to end friendships? Why can't I have a differing... It's like someone saying, you listen to punk music and I listen to emo, so therefore we can't be friends. Why can't we still maintain a friendship? Especially if the friendship was based on creativity and channels growing by having a group channel to help each other grow. That's the point of CreatorCast, to help each other grow their channels.
A platform such as CreatorCast, where there's dudes that come on and we talk and we navigate this YouTube world. If I wasn't going to say something about it, then I would be forever holding something in which needs to come out.
Gamer,
So-
hi Gamer.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Gaiman. So let's jump forward now to when Scotty leaves, or he's left. I think there's a 1 hour and 23 mark is where this stream becomes more about Creaky and me. Around about here, I think, is sort of Scotty getting up and he's had enough. Oh, that's cool.
Maybe he...
Yeah, there you go. When it goes black like that, someone left Google Hangout and it kind of stalls over itself. Kind of strange. That's just, I don't know why that Google Hangouts does that, but I still haven't seen JD Berry yet, says Paula O'Beer. Okay. I don't know. That's not me doing that. That's just the
I lost track of that. I apologise for my tardiness.
Google
Okay,
Hangouts
that's
kind of sketching
At
out.
least then when it comes out on your channel, it'll have a lot more bang. Hey, what's
Someone's
happened
saying
to the
Someone's saying stream down. Adelaide Crows, stream down.
It looks
Back again. It's back.
I'm looking
Must
at
have been
it,
just when
yeah.
Scotty jumped.
So we won't watch all
Yeah,
this,
that's
obviously,
strange.
but it gets pretty intense.
Ben, if you can, could you link us the creator
Let's-
inside the video? I think he means me, Ben on.
Let's jump
Yes,
forward
Ben
to...
Wilson in the house. In the space of about 12-hour period, I got the same kind of message from the 3 different people saying this is this, and this, and this. And I was like, you know what? They're dead right. Just let... Basically, I had to just say, let him be who he is.
Yeah, okay.
And don't let that affect you.
So what I'm talking about there is when Danny Black, Mark Ensby, and Jonathan Creek sent me the same message separately. So I think they were all talking amongst themselves, but they sent me the message saying, why does what Jay does affect you so much? And there was a personal element to that, and I guess we didn't really touch on that here. There wasn't really time. But the personal element was that Jay made a video slamming a business that I've worked for and that I'm personal friends with, that business, for quite some time, and working with them on their product. And Jay made a video, a very, very strange video for Jay to make, because at one point Jay was very close to this business as well. Like he had a natural in with this business because of what he does on YouTube. But for some weird reason, and again, this is just Jay being Jay, he made that video about this business and he slammed them. And it was a really, really strange, ill thought out, badly worded, badly planned, badly delivered video. And it baffled me. It was like, what the hell, Jay? Why would you do that? Like, what were you thinking? And I'd never really resolved what that meant to me in the back of my creativity, in the back of my mind. I'd never really resonated or reasoned why that upset me so much until I did have it out with Jay. And it took me a stupid thing to get to that point, because Jay went on a live stream with Pusha Studios and they were smoking him hardcore about how good he is and this and that. And I'm there in the chit chat watching this stream going, why does this guy get all the accolades? He's an absolute fool. Did you see what he did with that video? And so I'm there chatting in the chat going, how can you say this, man? You did this, this, and this. And I was popping off, and it was wrong. I shouldn't have done that in that chat. When I watched the stream back and read my comments in the live chat replay, I was like, okay, I was a dick. I was a dick right there. I rang Jay. I apologized and said, dude, I was sorry, man. I shouldn't have done that. I realized now what was going on. I was really mad at you for what you did on that video, and I took it out in that live stream. That's completely a bad move from me. Very bad. I should have addressed this with you months ago when you did this shit. Can we have this conversation now where we talk about what you've done? Can we talk about that? And he's like, oh, well, I do what I'll do, man. It was all a bit of a joke and this and that. And I was like, but I want to tell you how it made me feel. Why? And because of my connection with this company, I want to explain that. And Jay being Jay, he didn't really want to hear that. He didn't want me to tell my side of it. He was constantly saying, you know, I can't be responsible for how people take my content. It's up to them to digest it and take it. I was like, dude, you're not listening to me, hey. You're not listening. Again, this is his narcissism, right? He doesn't care about anybody but himself. He's an egomaniac. He only thinks about himself. I'd messed up and I'd called him and I was explaining why I'd messed up and how I'd got there, and he didn't want to hear it. He just pushed me aside. So I don't know how to say it. Like I don't know what to say, but that's what was going on in my mind, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here in this part of this video. That's defamation from Jay. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, totally. And that's how I decided to come back and say, well, Creator Cast can come back. Just let Jay do what Jay does. And sorry, the remedy of that was that both Creaky, Danny Black, and Mark Ensby all sent me a message around about the same time saying, hey, just let Jay be Jay. Don't worry about it. Like, leave him. Let him do his thing. And I was like, yeah, okay. I think they're right. I think that they're dead right. Let him be Jay. He's always going to be Jay. I hadn't concluded that. But of course, for me to let Jay be Jay, I've got to have a separation from Jay. I can't be closely entwined with him. Doesn't mean CreatorCast has to die and a weekly conversation about creativity has to die. Well, if you're an immature prick like Jay is, then sure, that's how that's going to go, right? He'll do it. And for fuck's sake, he's done what Jay does. Johan's in the chit-chat. G'day, Johan.
That's,
Rest
yeah,
my case. Crunch, VR. G'day, Crunch.
Yeah, I think I think you agree that your barometer was off a little bit at that moment.
Yeah.
And maybe there was things that led to that, which is fine. I think what you've also got to see now is on the back of that, maybe other people's barometers are a bit more sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of hard to say without really saying what it was. And here I am. I'm just talking about the situation, but I've just explained this situation to you, so there's no need to hear it again here from me. But This conversation with Creaky turns really interesting.
So I don't know. I think this just takes waves where I think you guys put a lot of work into this, and you have to acknowledge that. And I think everyone,
Johan,
you
am
know,
I
some
late?
people might
Yeah,
have
you're
put
a
in
little
more
late. That's
work
all
than
right, man.
others, and that's recognized as well. And you know, I think there was a lot of, you know, you certainly, you know, you sweated through some tough times with tech issues, which are incredibly frustrating. And you know, I think people recognize you for that. And I think maybe, you know, it's
Today
one of those
Tonight
things
Boy
where
talks about
because it's
sensitivity,
you, you
Paula.
don't see what other people are,
No,
or
the
maybe
irony.
the other guys aren't that good at communicating the good things you do. And you know, like the 6 o'clock news, they only like reporting the negative things. Because I don't get a vibe from those guys that there's, you know, anything in terms of major issues.
They made a group conversation called Positive Vibes Only, and I was not invited to it. So we had a CreatorCast chat on Messenger, a group chat, right, with all the boys from CreatorCast. They made a separate one called Positive Vibes Only, and I wasn't invited to it. And when I was telling Jay, I was apologizing for my Pusha Studios rant in the live chat, explaining why. He told me about that. He said, "Well, we've got this group that I want you to be involved in. It's called Positive Vibes Only. You're not in it because you're too negative, but we want you to be in it." I was like, "You guys made a group chat, sans Benon, and called it Positive Vibes. I mean, if that's not pushing me out and trying to make me feel shit, then I don't know what is, right?" Okay.
And so, you know, when I make, you know, I sort of, yeah, I pull myself up tonight when I made that comment about the Muppets. Like I could see your body language change. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
Benon's hypersensitive tonight. When I
it's not
made
just-
when I
it's
made jokes with you prior to Christmas about being, you know, a drill sergeant, German, locked in numbers, freak focused type of, you know, perfectionist.
Yep.
It didn't, you know, it was just you just
Mr.
took it. It was
Negativity. Yeah, I know
normal.
it's comical.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
just
it?
think there's I'm sensing right now, particularly after this conversation since 10:30, and you know, there's people live on stream getting to see this sort of mate to mate therapy session, which I'm happy to share. I think you're heading back into a sensitive period again. I think your barometer's sensitive.
I want to
And
I'd
I'd love to
find,
help.
and you're not privy to this, and nobody else really. I want to find this comment that he's referring to that he made.
Throw out little things for a reaction. Don't worry about that.
Not necessarily a character that I am, and I have a comment at anybody else. I think it's around about
He was
here.
going to town with that.
Subscribe to Pockmorn. Subscribe to Pockmorn. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
if you're going to start doing that, and you
Yeah.
haven't even got your channel started yet, you're already going the wrong way. Thanks,
Benon,
fellas.
if
He's-
you could
he's a
have
rad-
had the
rad
chance
kid, hey.
to sit down
He's got a
face
lot
to
of
face with
future.
Jay and
Thanks, man.
Creaky
He's a little-
one at a time to ask your questions and get proper answers, would it have allowed you to get it off your chest and thus place your mind at rest? I mean, you could say, I mean, you mean sitting down in the same room as them or having a conversation? Because there was plenty of conversations, not with Jay, but there was conversations with Creaky.
Pest.
He's a little pest.
He's a little spammer in the comments.
Yeah, he is. Gina says, back up in the chat. Yeah, we did lose it for 30 seconds, but I think this has been a good chat. And if you are good work, mate. Test battle, you found it cool. If you are jumping in late, like
see, Gina's scared. Gina's scared of you, Benon. See,
okay, here it comes. I think. Nah, Gina. Like,
you are like one of those old men in the Muppets.
what's this?
You're on the balcony and you rah rah rah. Rah, 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 rah.
See, I could argue that that's a negative comment. Like I don't cast that kind of a comment at anybody else. But I could say that's a bit of a cheeky jab right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm jabbing you 100%.
But for what motive? For what gain?
Drama. No. I'm just trying to make you happy.
What does that mean? Did you get what happened then? He makes an assertion that I'm like the grumpy old men and the Muppets, the two dudes that are up on top of the thing, criticizing everything, right? That's what he's saying. And I say, why would you say that, man? Like I've not said that about anybody here tonight. I've not made this kind of like overriding judgment call on someone and put them down. And look at him smiling about it, smirking. I'm like, why would you do that? And he's like, well, it's a jab. I'm having a jab at you. And then my follow-up question is, Well, why? Like, how does that make you feel? And he looks at you. He looks at me like, well, I'm just a jabber. I just like to stir the pot. I'm like, for what though? Like, what is your motivation behind that? I want to watch this again. This is baffling.
See, don't want to get told off by Ben on. Nah, Gina. Like,
You are like one of those old men in the Muppets. You're on the balcony and you rah rah rah. Rah, 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 rah.
see, I could argue that that's a negative comment. Like, I don't cast that kind of a comment at anybody else. But I could say that's a bit of a cheeky jab right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm jabbing you 100%.
But for what motive? For what game?
Drama. No. I'm just trying to make you happy.
I'm just trying to make you happy? What? That's not making me happy, and he knows it. It's making him happy. It's a very strange thing he's done there. I'm doing it for drama to... Oh, daily vlog alarm, folks. In 4 minutes, daily vlog has to be done. I'm doing it for drama to make you happy? I think he's hurting your feelings, Johan. Yeah, Polo, that was interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Trying to make you happy.
See, I think that kind of...
Oh, now he's going to overthink it. Don't overthink
but
it.
that kind of a jab only makes you happy. It doesn't make the person receiving it happy. It might make a giggle in the audience, but mainly it's for your happiness. So you could sort of say...
No, I think it's your role in the group is that you are our father figure.
What? How?
See, cheeky chat with Creaky. See, that's
I'm
what
their
Gina
father
said.
figure?
Chat with Creaky. I don't know. Like, I'm happy to be...
Don't take that to heart. Because those guys, you watch the Muppets, right?
Oh, you watched it when I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, so they go, oh, that was terrible. That was awful. That was no good. Oh, that was all right. Oh, yeah, that was okay. Oh, that was wonderful. That was awesome. So they go around in this circle.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No, but you do. You go, this is annoying me, but now this is the greatest thing ever.
I never do that.
This is good.
I feel like I get given, well, not given, I get made into this.
This is so frustrating to watch back, I tell you.
Character that I am. And I like...
So, let me just...
That's why I said in that...
Let me just pause it there. Why... After this stream went, and then all the J stuff pulled the pin and everything left, and then Creaky demanded I remove the video. Why do you think he demanded I remove the video? Because he looks like an absolute fool. An absolute fool right there. Very, very strange approach that he's taken at this point in the stream. What is wrong with him? Yeah, it's something that I've never really understood. I don't get why he did that.
In that private group chat, I'm going to leave this chat because I'm not all happy. It's not all rosy, and it's nothing's all positivity. And if that's all that this chat is, I don't want to be involved in it because it's fake. And that was...
So I'm talking about leaving a group chat that I was invited to, and everyone was just talking absolute garbage in that chat about positivity. And I was like, well, there's actually some negative stuff going on down right now too, and we're not going to address that. I was like, if we're not going to talk about the real issues, I'm not going to be in this group because we're just avoiding the actual conversation.
No small creator, to be completely honest.
And that was no small creator in a nutshell.
That's why I left that place, because it was just all fake, false positivity. For what motive? I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know if it was fake positive. I think No More Creator was a great community when it started. It was powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think there has to be some humour in life.
Do you know what's interesting about not No Small Creator, but the Cody Wanna Rise?
That's it. Gina Walters has hit it right on the nail on the head, Ben. You're honest about how you feel.
This is critical.
And that is a wonderful place to be.
I'm honest about how I feel, and that is a wonderful place to be. Then why did every single friend of mine from this era walk up and leave after Jay left? I'll tell you why. Because the ego man controls everybody else. That's why everybody left. And we got 25 seconds here before my daily vlog's set to begin. I just got to get this going, folks. This is the daily vlog coinciding with the live stream. And I'll talk a little about this on the daily vlog as well. Where are we? We're 10 seconds. Yeah, that's why that happened. What did she say? We'll replay it on the stream here. I'm going to just start the daily vlog here. It's 16 past 10. Good morning. Good morning, live stream. Good morning, daily vlog. This is the time when we've coincided, coexisted. We've correlated our streams. We've crossed swords. We're live to YouTube. We're also doing the daily vlog. DLE says, hi, daily video, right there. Now, what we're talking about here on this stream is it's been a year since the infamous CreatorCast live stream that ended everything. We've just got to a critical point where Gina Walters in the chit chat has says something, which I want to rewind. Now, you guys won't hear it, but I'll repeat what she says for you by doing it this way here, and I'll tell you what she says.
That's it. Gina Walters has hit it right on the nail on the head, Benon. You're honest about how you feel.
Gina Walters in the chit chat said, and Creaky says, Gina Walters hit it on the head, Benon. She said, you're honest about how you feel. Now, I'm speculating here on the stream today, a year later. If I'm honest about how I feel, and that's a good thing, why is Creaky no longer a friend of mine? Why did he demand I remove this video from YouTube? Why did he get all angsty when I said I'm not going to remove the video from YouTube? The only reason he asked me to remove the video from YouTube was because Jay Boston had quit CreatorCast in a huff and a puff, and Jay's ego was controlling what this man thinks, and to a further degree, Danny Black, Mark Ensby, even to a lesser degree, Scotty Donnelly, and Gina Walters, and that's how this all went down. So basically, Jay saying I've had enough, I'm out, took everybody with him. But right here on the stream, before they knew that, before Creaky knew this, because this was live, the removal didn't happen until the day after. Before they knew that Jay was upset, he was right behind me. You're honest about how you feel, and that's a good thing. He just said it. He just said it. Don't worry about Gina. Worry about Paula. Shout out, or I am going to sit on a snorkel mask. Paula Erdbeer says, don't worry about Gina. Worry about Paula. Shout out to Paula Erdbeer on the live stream on the daily vlog. Classic. But you see what I'm saying? Like, before anybody knew about what Jay was doing after this stream, they were all behind me, and we're seeing that right now. They were behind me. They were saying, it's a good thing, dude. What you're saying, what you're doing is a good thing. Yet when Jay decided to leave, everybody changed their motive. Everybody changed their angle to the point where he demanded I remove this video from YouTube, this live stream. And then Creaky tried to buy the CreatorCast channel, not Creaky, Mark Ensby offered to buy the CreatorCast channel off me to remove this. He wanted to buy the whole channel. You see what I'm saying? Like, I get treated so badly by these people, and all I've done, which is right according to Creaky, right there, is speak my mind. I mean, it's good to watch this again this long afterwards to just see how ridiculous this is. Let's continue. Yes.
And that is a wonderful place to be.
And that is a wonderful place to be, said right there by the man.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
The ego...
I'm not backpedaling here. Like, I'm always going to be cheeky, and I'm always going to throw out little things for a reaction.
He just said, I'm not backpedaling here. I'm always going to throw out things. I'm always going to be cheeky. I'm always going to throw out things for a reaction. So if you're not backpedaling there, why did you backpedal afterwards when Jay pulled the pin and you demanded I remove this video? Because this video makes you look like a fool, Creaky, and you know it. You can see it. He knows it. He sees it. And the trouble is he won't back down because he's in like this with Jay, because they're both invested to give reporters, right? That's why he won't back down, because he wants to smoke Jay as hard as he can for his own gain. That's what Creaky's doing. He's smoking Jay for his own gain because Jay's got virality and this man thinks he can obtain some of that. I thought you had the viral DNA, Creaky. I thought you had all the answers. Didn't you do a TEDx talk? Unbelievable. And we're done on the daily vlog. Wow.
Sorry about that.
And Thanks for that, folks.
I'm not trying to bully you. I'm not.
You disguise it. Like you go under a little bit and then let out a little flinting jab and then come back up to the level of happiness or this positive place. But you did go down to this little negative spiral and then you went back up. And I've seen it before from other people in the CreatorCast crew, and I don't know why it gets jabbed at me, because I'll say when something's wrong. I'm not going to disguise it. I'll call it, but I get given a slight hand of it on the other side of it. Like even in the chat earlier with when Jay was on, he kept sort of slyly bringing me saying, well, you do this with your snorkel mask. It's like, well, I'm not disguising anything with what I do, but to bring it back into full circle, yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head. Adrian says the ego controls everyone else. Narcissist. Yeah, I mean, the more we learn about this, the more narcissistic these trends are, for sure. Johan says he's the worst man. Happy Canadian, your true friends are here in the stream, Benon. Thank you, Happy Canadian. Thank you, Jeffrey. You've been here from the get-go too, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Adrian, the narcissists do things to piss people off for a reaction because they're insecure people. Jay is completely insecure. That's why he still makes bloody "that's what she said" jokes as a mature man with 2 children. Who makes "that's what she said" jokes? We did that in high school, right? He still does that. You know, oh, it's pretty wet in here. It's been raining. That's what she said. What are you, 12 years of age? Ridiculous.
See that?
Well, I that's what I'm saying. That's why.
Well, if that's your feelings, I can't change them. But
it's a group. It's a feeling
was...
that's come from this group. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not something that I've given myself. It's the vibe that comes from a collective of people.
Well, I don't notice it. I don't think there's any. You're feeling as though you're being. I mean, we're getting deep here on this, and we can take it offline if you like. But I don't notice anyone singling anyone else out.
Look how uncomfortable he is.
Okay.
Is that what you feel? Because if you feel, let's have it out there.
It's been resolved, but what I'm saying is that it did come to a point at the end of last year or the beginning of this year. I can't remember when it was exactly, but
he thinks he can have the
whenever
channel.
I let off my steam in that Fuchsia Studios live feed when Jay was on.
So what we're talking about?
I'll be honest, I didn't like what you did there.
Yeah,
and I told you. I went straight to you and told you that.
Yeah, I completely acknowledged that, and I was in the wrong, and I made the amends from it. But what I'm saying is that to get me to that point where one thing about one person just.
So what I'm getting at there is the conversation I just had previously about what Jay did with that business and that video. So we've heard me say that already. If you want to go back and watch it, 1 hour 33 and 51. But I'm just repeating myself there on this particular stream. But I guess we can jump forward a little.
Wasn't in it, but I presume there's probably the way the internet is now. There's hundreds of chats between hundreds of different people. And
when it's the creator crew.
This is me talking about the chat that they made minus me.
And told you that.
Yeah, and I completely acknowledged that, and I was in the wrong.
Oh, here we go.
I made the amends from it.
We'll watch it.
But what I'm saying is that to get me to that point where one thing about one person just really got under my skin for some time, it wasn't just that one thing or that one person. It was a build up of other things that came down to push me that way. And yeah,
so you bottled it up, and then
more or less
the Pusa stuff was just like the straw that broke the camel's back for you.
Somewhat.
And you feel as though since that you haven't fitted back in.
Nah.
The way that you were. That it's changed the dynamic somehow.
Somewhat. There's definitely that. There's definitely a fit that's not fitting. There's this other element where, and we've already touched on it, but where you guys all have this positive fake, what I think is bullshit, and then I don't have that, so I'm not allowed in. Like I said, there was a group called Positive Vibes that I wasn't allowed to be involved in.
Positive Vibes.
Jay told me that.
I wasn't in it either.
But the fact that existed to me amongst friends, it's like we're going to make a positive group chat and we're not going to invite Ben on because he's not positive, and then to tell me about it. Like
yeah. See that's
pretty shit.
That's pretty shit.
Absolutely.
They've got a separate group chat. It's called Positive Vibes. I'm not allowed in it, and then they tell me about it. That's pretty shithouse.
Absolutely. If that's happened, I don't know about it.
And I reckon he did know about that.
I definitely wasn't in it. But I presume there's probably the way the internet is now. There's hundreds of chats between hundreds of different people. And,
Yeah, but when it's
you know,
your creator crew, when it's Danny, Jay,
Your
and
brotherhood.
Scotty, and then I'm not involved in it, and then like I just see it.
but that was right at the time of Pusa, was it?
Well, it was after that, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think if you look back at the situation, you know, maybe there was a slight crisis moment, and they needed somewhere where they could all talk collectively about what they were going to do. Because I think
narcissistic people are not capable of showing empathy and never will be. Yep. This crisis moment that Creaky's referring to is when everybody turned on me. That's the crisis moment he's referring to. Everybody said, well, Benon's too negative. He doesn't like what Jay did, so let's all do something without Benon. They not only did they begin a new chat without me, they began a new channel, America versus Australia, that then went on to become C-Panel. Remember C-Panel? That was just CreatorCast sans Benon. Then they went on to do another thing without me called... that was C-Panel merged into something else, and I lost track until the Not So Morning Show, which was obviously another thing, which was to fill the void of CreatorCast that Danny obviously doesn't want me to be involved in. So these people, not only did they not allow me to have my belief about what I thought went down and why that was wrong, but then they totally removed me from every aspect of their online friendships, and not just online. I've known Danny and Jay and Scotty. YouTube not so bad. I've known these people personally, right? So in real life, stayed at their houses and whatnot. So there's a friendship there, and then for Danny to up and leave friendship as well, that's like, dude, are you for real? That's how fickle you are. I can't have a differing opinion than what you have, and therefore I'm out. They basically started a new friendship without me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's taken 12 months for me to just go, you know what? Fuck them all. Who cares? Let them do it. But this is the point of this stream today. It's been a year, right? It's been 12 months. Can we draw something out of this? I think it's pretty clear what we're drawing. The reason this stream went so hardcore is because one person has an over the top ego. He thinks he's something better than what he is. He calls himself he used to call himself the Australian Casey Neistat. He makes content at any cost. He'll do anything to get the views. We've already discovered that multiple times. He will go down any route to get those views at any cost. And if anybody questions him and says, hey man, what are you doing? He shuts up shop and walks away. Now I want to read you, and we're not going to watch the whole of that stream, but let me read you the last messages from Jay Boston that I had. Okay. So without going way back up and reading the entire thread, we're looking at a date here of okay, so the 29th of May. The 29th of May, Jay says to me in a text message, Benon, I want to talk with you regarding the past 6 months. You willing to go on Danny's X Here live chat? So a new thing that Danny had on 10 p.m. Just you and me. Danny is away. And I said, Jayski! ! Didn't expect to hear from you. If you want to discuss, my thoughts are it should be done on the CreatorCast, as you leaving was why that went on hiatus. Now, at that point, 29th of May, 2019, I never thought that it was completely over. I thought it was on a hiatus. So then Jay replied with, there's not a big following on there, and I feel that audience from CreatorCast is already heavily on Danny's platform. CreatorCast is pretty much dead, so rather be on a platform you run or one I run, I thought it might be best to do on one we both don't run. I said the only way I'd have this chat publicly is if it were on CreatorCast or a completely mutual channel. To do it on one of the ex-hosts of CreatorCast is an unfair bias. And then he said, okay, it's worth a shot. Danny ain't biased, and I don't believe, and his subs don't mean much about it. Catch. So basically, at 4:13 in the afternoon, he wanted me to go onto a live stream at 10 p.m. that night to discuss what had gone down on this stream. just because he thought it was the right time. We'd never spoke about it since, like in between then, just at that point. So that's where that got left. Then on the 16th of October, I don't know if it's a good idea to read out PMs. Lol, that C line is so much cringe. I mean, this is what this. I just wanted to. I kind of wanted to get to the end where I said, Jay said at the very end. I won't read it all, but he said, "Thanks for the chat. I think we've said enough for now. I don't feel any resolution will ever come where I could even have a friendly conversation with you. All the best." So his conversation was basically he said to me, it's okay for me to disagree with him, but he doesn't like the way I did it. He doesn't like my approach. That's what he was saying. And I said, okay, cool. So if I understand our conversation correctly, it's okay for me to disagree with you with what you do, but you don't like the way I expressed it, and that's why you left CreatorCast. That's kind of what it came down to. He didn't like the way that I expressed my disapproval of what he did, and that's why he left CreatorCast. That's a very strange reason to leave CreatorCast, because of my delivery method. Not the fact I disagree with him, the delivery method. That's a lot to digest, folks. I guess we can do it all again next year. I'm done with it right now. I can hear my outro music rolling. Thanks for sticking by with me on this one. Regular programming next week. See you.